Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So I'm coming back again with two more ideas on presenting sort of money as a gift over Christmas. I'm using the Enchanted winter set to do these examples again today. So these ones are the mystical mountains. So you've got that beautiful white tiger and the white wolf. There is a white fox in this set, and the difference is the colour of the eyes. So the fox has sort of yellowy eyes, orangey yellow eyes, and the wolf has the blue. So there are two inserts in the insert and paper pack. Let's see if I can get them apart. So there you go, your wolf and your tiger. You've got your tiger again, and then you've got your foiled. Look at that. And I've bought one of the papers out as well. Double-sided. I mean, that you could use for anything with your die cuts and all sorts of things if you don't want to use it with this set, but I am going to be using it today. So this is the second idea that I had. So I am going to be using a 5x7 card. This is actually linen card. It's still 300 GSM and white. The only reason I'm using linen card is because I've used up all of my plain, and I've got a whole pack of linen in there. It's a big wodge like that, and I thought, well, I'm going to use it because that's what I've got here. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring in some of that Mirri Sparkle Special, or Mirri Special Rainbow Sparkle, and I'm going to cut a mat. Grab that little leg out there. I'm going to do that the normal 2 notches off the 5 and 2 notches off the 7. Another big piece there, save that for die cuts. Then I'm going to bring the paper in. I'm hoping it's going to cut on here quite nicely. If not, we might have to swap to the guillotine. And this at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, that's that one. And then I need another piece of card. What I'm going to do, I'm bring in a big sheet of this linen card here. Oops. Let's hope that goes back on. Should just slip back in. Teach me to pull it like that. I want a piece, actually I want 2 pieces. I want a piece that's going to be 4.5. I'm going to go 4.5 by 6.5. Going to be fine for that. And then I want a piece again that's going to be a 3.5 by 6. Okay, and I just want to check. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so let's do, I want to decorate that bit there. Let me just grab that topper. I don't think I need to. I think I measured it. With using the bigger topper, I might not have to decorate that piece at all. Let's just pop that out. But if I do, I'll just cut some more of that paper. I'm going to have to need, yeah, okay, so I'm going to need to cut another little bit of Mirri card. I want that to fit this, so that was 4.5 by 6.5. So again, I'm just going to go 2 notches under, so 4.5 minus 2, and then 6.5 minus 2. That should fit onto there quite nicely. And then if I bring that paper back in, piece there. So that's going to be 4.5, so it's going to be 4.25, 5, 6 and 1/4. And that should fit onto there quite nicely again. Yeah. Okay. So when I first started planning this out, I was working with a 6x6 card, and then at the last minute I decided to change it to a 7x5 or a 5x7. So that's why some of my measurements have changed. Okay, so the usual glues I'm going to be using are the Kalau All-Purpose in that one, and the Kalau Tacky Glue in that one. For the papers, I'm also going to be bringing in the Hunkydory permanent dot tape pen. So let's do some matting and layering, and I still have a couple of layers to cut as well, so but we'll do that a little further on. Let's get some of this assembled and be on the road to getting it done. So just matting and layering, so just popping that down nice and equal. Stick that down, just popping up a little bit there. And then for the paper, like I say, I will use the Kalau All-Purpose glue, but in the corners, if I take the thing off, and use the dot tape pen, just because this is paper, and sometimes the tacky glue can make it bubble as it dries, which can sort of ruin the sort of look of your project. Probably the people who get it wouldn't even notice, but you will. So let's just give that a good press down, and those glue dots will hold that in place while those other glues set. Now this piece here is going to be going on, and I'm going to bring in some, this is some foam tape. This is, I think, about 3 millimeters deep, and I want that to go right on the edge. And I've had this a while, so I'm hoping it's going to be quite sticky enough. And you don't have to worry about any gaps. It's not like you're putting any sequins or anything in. This is going to be the support for the way that we're hiding our little bit of money. Obviously, if you are going with a gift card, you could reduce this size right down. Okay, and I'm going to put some purpose glue on. Like I say, I'm not sure how sticky these foam pads are, but in any case it will give me a little bit of wiggle room time. And then we're just going to come in, and I'm going to pop that sort of in the middle of my card. Okay, so now we've got this sort of pocket at the top. Now we're sort of going to make it look like it's just another mat there, and then we can make ourselves a money holding tag to go on the inside. Oops. So again, just layering up these layers. Bring that into place. And again, because this is that paper, so the benefit of using the all-purpose glue is that you get that sort of ability to float it into place and then when you're ready you can press down. Okay. And then let's have a little play with these layers. So I'm thinking with bigger card we're going to be fine with the length on this, because this one is I believe it was pretty much 6 inches. Yeah, look, see, nearly 6 inches in length, and about 4.5 across. Okay. Thinking I might need all of these today. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all, I can use the cloud glue on here because this is cardstock going onto paper, so it's just going to glue to that paper quite nicely for me. It will give me a little bit of wiggle room time, but not too much. So we do want to sort of get this in the right sort of ballpark area first time. So I'm just going to use that other frame to sort of guide me into place. Yeah, I can see that's not quite in the middle. And I don't really have to worry about any glue showing, because by the time all the foam pads are on you're not going to notice it. Okay, so for this one I'm going to bring in some 1mm foam pads. So just a couple of those onto there. And then I'll pop that in. Okay, and then I'm going to, do I want to go up one again? Yeah, I think I will just go up 1mm. So I'm just going to cut these down a bit. Don't want it to go too high, because although the envelopes I've got, the 5x7 envelopes I've got, do have a good amount of space in them. If I go too high, I won't have any way of putting it in an envelope, and I do want to, it's too nice a kit to sort of make it for it to just stay here basically until I sort out a handmade one. I don't mind making my own envelopes, but it's quite time consuming, and basically there's 1,000 other things I'd rather be doing than making envelopes. Okay, nearly there. So just putting a good amount of support on here again. I found my glasses today while I was tidying. It's been months. I know. I spoke to Kerry. Oh, I think it must have been 3 or 4 months ago, and I said I'd lost them and I couldn't find them, and I was sure that I'd left them around here on my desk somewhere, and that's where they were, but they'd fallen on the side so you could hardly see them. So, but I was tidying around here. Because what I did over the weekend was work through all of that in full bloom kit. So there's 2 of every flower. I think I did videos on all of the flowers except for the camellia and the tulips, that sheet. So but yeah, I've worked through it. I'm going to put the photos up on Pinterest later today, and I'll also make a new album on my Facebook, so if you did want to see 2 examples of each card, they will be there for you. I'm hoping I'm not really going to see that pad off the side. No, I think that's going to be fine. Okay, so that's the basic card done. Obviously we've got the insert to pop in, and now we're going to do this tag. Okay, so with this piece that we've got, that's 3.5 by 6, obviously you can see that is going to fit in there all the way down, which is perfect. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring in the Hunkydory tag punch. Now obviously these measurements are only up to 1.5, 2 and 2.5, but if you pop it in equally each side, so I'm saying about there, push really hard, come on. Oh, there we go, we still get a cut. Okay guys, so my camera did cut out a bit, so what I'm going to do is just do what I did, and then I'll show you what I'm going to be using in the card. So like I was saying before it cut off, all I'm going to do is just lay my ruler across there, cut those off along that edge. I think I did it a bit neater on the first one, but that's fine. And then use the corner rounder, just pop that in to where it should be. Just trying to keep it, it's difficult because it's not quite there, but it will round those shoulders off for you. Let me just do that one a little bit better. There we go, because I'm hoping to use this tag, you know, for something else after. But let me bring in my trimmer, some more of that wonderful diamond sparkles. I need to cut a piece that is 3.5 minus 2 notches wide by 4.5. I think that should fit quite nicely onto there. I'll just take an extra notch off. There we go, just on that one side, because it's just slightly bigger margin at the top and the bottom. So just straighten that out. I can sort that in a second. And then I used the cardstock from the kit with the tiger, and I cut the mat for this, and I cut the mat at so 4.5 long, so I think it's going to be 4.25, and then 3.25 minus the extra one. Okay, and then that should fit quite nicely onto there. It doesn't, I know why, because that's 3.5, so it should be 3.5 minus 2 notches. Let me just grab another little piece of paper. Yeah, so because I do want to use this, so we're going 3.5, so 3.25 by 4.5 minus 2 notches. I might have to take that extra notch off the side. Yes, I do. So we are, and this is going to be to your eye, whether you think you need another bit off or not. Okay, and remember I did this with the cardstock, only I didn't get it wrong first time. Okay, just take that out. And then what I did was take that cardstock and cut it corner to corner, like so. Okay, and then what I did was take the top piece and I used my normal glues on that. So for this one I'm going to be using all purpose and some dots. I'm going to pop this into this top corner. I'll show you the one that's actually going to be used on the project in a second. And then this one will slot back onto there. I think we possibly could do with just moving over a little bit. Good thing about those dots is they do give you a little bit of wiggle room time as well. Let's see. That's better. Okay. And then this piece that we've got loose, I used my thinnest red liner tape and I just went round two of the sides. Like so. And then I'm doing very dangerously because this is paper. What I did was match that up to the picture, make sure it matches properly, and then popped it down. And then what you're going to have is that little flap there, which your money will fit into. I folded it in half. Okay, now the one I used was the cardstock. I used the tiger, so it's exactly the same thing. Oh, sorry, that was stuck onto there then. Okay, so exactly the same thing. We've got that loose one at the bottom, so the money will go in there. We've got some ribbon, which I did pre-cut, so I did that while I was watching the video to see where it decided to stop. But I've got some light blue and some navy. And I'm just going to, actually, let's do one of these feeding through bows. So I'm going to just make a loop, pop that loop through, and then pull all of those ends through to make that there. And then let's put those ginormous scissors away because they are super heavy. Just want to kind of get them all to the same length, and then you could leave them all square if you want, but I like to just give them a little bit of an edge, and then that will fit inside there. Now I've made this so that when it's in the envelope, that will fit right down to the bottom, and obviously that will go around the back. But if you were to sort of give it to someone, you can always just then point out that they need to pull that up. But usually the first thing you do is stroke it, and then they're going to realise that it moves, and then they're going to find that money there. So that is idea number one for today. That sort of hidden tag money card. And I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for my third card, just taking a piece of 6x12 cardstock that I've folded in half to make a 6x6 card blank. And I'm going to pop this in, and I'm going to take 1/2 inch, let's move that blade, 1/2 inch off both sides. So let's pop that over, pop that in at 1/2 inch and down, and then what I'll do is just come across. Use your trimmer if you're more confident doing it that way, but so we're going to have a normal, just like a little cutaway card like so, looking quite neat. And then I'm going to take a spare piece of card. I'm going to cut it at 4 inches by 5.5. And if I bring in my little scoreboard, I'm just going to pop this in with the long edge here. So we've got 5.5 at the top, 4 at the side, and I'm going to score at 5.5. Actually, I'm going to bend it that way because it's slightly wider on that side. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is just take a ruler. I'm going to bring this onto my card just because I want this to go in. I want to make sure I get it in the right position. So just after the 1, just before the 5, just put a little mark on there. And making sure, golden rule of card making, always make sure that your card is opening the right way before you just make sure it's opening the right way before you glue anything down. And I'm just going to pop some red liner tape at that top there, just because that's going to be the best adhesive to get that sticking straight away for me. I'm going to take that back off. Sorry, a little bit of a snippy nose. Oops. And then what we're going to do is just bend that down. I'm going to bring this in to where I've made those marks, and we should be covering them up pretty much with my piece. And then I'm just going to fold that down. And then if I just go over that with my burnishing tool, I've now got a card that's got that extra flap on. Okay. Okay, so now we can decorate. So I've got another piece. This is different, a Miri Sparkle card, and it must be another Miri Special. But these are slightly bigger dots on. So we're going to be using that on this one. Now I need 3 mats, so I might have to grab another sheet. So we want a piece that's going to be our normal 6x6. So I'm taking 2 notches off of that, so 2 notches off the 6 on 2 sides, and that should, if I can pick it up, should fit quite nicely onto there. And I'm going to use the insert on that one as a decoration. Then the next one is going to be a 5x6, so I'm going to take 2 notches off that 5 and 2 notches off that 6, and that one should cover up our workings. That's going to go on the inside there. And then if I grab another sheet here, that last piece is 4, so 2 notches under the 4. I'm sure it was 5, so 2 notches under the 5. Okay, perfect. So now we can grab ourselves some cardstock. Like I said, the insert's going onto the back. I'm going to use some paper, I think, on that very top layer. So let's bring that feathered paper in again, because I did like that. And we're going to go at 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. You won't see a lot of this anyway because the topper is going on top. You can see how that lovely holographic card shows up. And then we've got our wolf. So we're going to cut this at 4 3/4, and we're going to cut that by 5 3/4. Okay, and then what I want to do, let me just work that out. Just going in there like so, so that's fitting quite nicely. And then what I'm going to do is pop this in at the 2-inch mark. And just second guessing myself, bear with me 2 seconds. My little fake £20 note. 1, 2, 3, here. So I'm going to cut, so I've got this at 2 inches here, and I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, right across to the 4-inch, like so. So now we're going to have this pocket here, and this is where our money is going to stick into. I think I might actually just go a little wider. Let me just work back at the 2. Make sure I'm back where I was. And I think what I'll do is just take it another 1/4 of an inch each way. Okay, so that's just going to give us that little bit of a wider pocket there. Okay, yeah, I think that's better. So from 3/4 of an inch right across to 4 1/4. Right. Now again, I don't want to be sticking all of this down. I want to be sticking the top half down because I want that to be quite secure. But then again, we want to be able to get into this piece here. So again, that bottom piece, I'm going to use my red liner tape. If I can find the end. And then just because I want to have a little bit of give on it, I am going to come up about 1/2 an inch. Let's get rid of that bit, that's too small for anything. You can see I just double cut it there, but it's not going to be noticeable anyway, so when the money's in there. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. Should have done it all in one go. There we go. It doesn't need to be completely covering, although I have done. Just going to take that back a little bit because it's, like I say, it's not going to fall out. And obviously, if you wanted to put more money in there, so I can do my normal glues at the top. You know, if you were putting like a load of notes, then it might be worth just considering popping this on a 1mm foam pad, just to give you that extra bit of space underneath. Pop that out. Hopefully we're going to get it first time. What I'm going to do is just make sure I'm right on the top. And you should be alright everywhere else. Okay, and then just going to give that a little bit of a bend. You can see our money goes in, but when it's out, we've still got that picture there. So let me turn that around so it's got the £20 on. Like I said, I've got no real money. I did say yesterday I've got no real money. It's not that I've got no money, but I just no cash. I think Christmas is really the only time I see cash, and that's usually because well, I used to give Anthony money, and also Anfield, my other nephew, because they like to buy, both of them, even Anthony and Anfield, they like to buy designer clothes. Okay, and what I've forgotten to do is just grab that insert. For this I'm using guillotine because it just cuts this paper better. And we can go at 5 3/4, just making sure a beautiful wolf in there. So it's still like a normal card, you can still use it, still do all those things that a normal card is supposed to. Now from here on out it's just assembly. The tricky bit was just doing that inside bit. So again, because this is the paper, sticky dots are my best friend. I think this holographic card is slightly brighter than the other one. Let me just show you. Look, you know, looking at that edge there, this one is a lot more sparklier. That's a word. Right, so we put that one on, we've put that one on. Okay, so now we can go ahead and do the fun bit. The great thing about this kit as well, I did mean to say the other day, is that it does have 2 pages that are smaller topper tags sort of thing. So they are ideal for you if you like to make smaller cards, or even if you just like your kit to go a bit further. Sorry, there's a string of glue there. So that's going to be hiding behind there. Let's just move that around so you can't see that that's in there. Oops. Generally, I don't make cards like this where you use the topper and, you know, this printed one with the image on, and a topper as well. I like to make it go that little bit further, but because this is like a special card, it's serving a function, and because we've got those papers, it's quite cool to add these bits in. Right, so there's this lovely little wolf. Let's bring him out. No, come on. There we go. There we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. There's that one. I didn't put a sentiment on the other one, so let's grab one for that one. What's that got? It's got the tiger. So we're going to have to use the wolfy one on there with Christmas wishes. We'll save that one for the other one. I noticed I didn't put any pearls on it either. So we've still got on your special winter birthday. So if anyone's got a birthday around this time, it's got an ideal little sentiment in. Now this one, I think I'm going to miss that middle layer out. And then we've got a little frame that we can use on a little book, or something like that. There we go, so let's put them out of the way. So let's pop that. So we've got the decoration at the top and the bottom. And I can see there's just a pokey out pip there. So do I want to pop these up? It's a question I'm now asking myself. I'm going to go flat with this one, and then I'll raise up the wolf. So I'm just going to pop some tacky glue where that decoration is, because we know that bit's going to be on the cardstock. So let's pop that onto there. Oops, go around a little. There we are. And then I'm going to use 1mm foam pads on here. So, hoping to get this video finished before the delivery man comes, because he's bringing Henry's present, and I know once Henry gets it, there's going to be no peace, because it's going to be wee. Because there's these little rubber balls that I get from AliExpress, and he's just managed to kill one after 4 months. And that's after being left out in the garden and all sorts, you know, so they're pretty indestructible, because he's got a really hard bite. Like the counsellors, they send us a Christmas card every year, you know, like to remind us that they're there and doing whatever for us. They just popped it through the door while Henry was loose. And it now has a big circular hole out. He literally just took a bite out of it. Such a naughty boy. Okay, so I'm going to pop that onto that edge there. Pop put my glasses on, but I'm still going on the wonk bit. Never mind. Okay. So, and this is kind of like one of those fun fold things. I don't know what title it's got. Maybe front flap or something like that. But we're just going to pop that down there like so. Now, I was going to use these magical monochrome that I got in my little goodie bag, because I think these white ones will look nice in here. So I'm just going to dig in with my little knife, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, turn over, silly thing, 4, just to make it 2 out of 5. Come off the glue, not sure if it has. And the good thing about these is that you do have a little bit of time to adjust them. But that is card number 2, so we've got that hidden flap there with our money in. We just bring back our tiger, and I need to pop a sentiment on, so let me grab another piece of 1mm. Just going to pop this on. I'm going to put that one down the bottom there, and again I'm going to throw that pearl on the floor because that is an excellent use of my pearls, and I'm just going to put 3 on that one. And we'll put those back in the packet, and I will pick that one off the floor in a minute. But there are my 2 extra ideas for gifting cash. You've got your, I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on this so that stays together. You've got your hidden tag, which the money just slides inside. Grab a piece of card and just put it in, so that would go into there. You fold that up, and the brilliant thing about that is that it would fit a gift card as well, and that will go in there and hide all the way down, so it fits nicely in a 5x7 envelope. And then you've got your 6x6 with your hidden fold. And with both of them, you know, when the money's taken out, it's still a nice picture. Okay. But that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching and supporting me. Next time I am going to be coming back again with this kit, I think, and I may be coming up with some ideas what I was thinking about with those lovely tags that are on this kit. I'll put the rest of it away so I can't show you, but I was thinking about doing maybe a tag that might be a decoration as well, so we will see how that goes. But I may come up with something else. I may come back with some cards, but my thinking at the moment is about making some kind of tree decoration with that. But like I say, thanks for watching. See you again next time, and until then, happy crafting. Bye.